My sister framed me, so I went to jail and lost my kids, because my husband made her a deal she couldn't refuse. So I made sure they got what they deserved, and now they can kiss their freedom goodbye. Let me tell you about the nightmare that was last year. Picture this. My sister, the one I grew up with and trusted, turned into a real opportunist. She saw a chance and took it, even if it meant dragging me down with her lies. Her false testimony had some serious consequences. I lost custody of my children to my husband. It was devastating, like my whole world had come crashing down. On top of that, I ended up getting arrested. Yes, the whole situation was a mess. What made it worse was finding out that my ex-husband was behind the entire plot. He must have promised my sister something, money, favors, who knows? It felt like a double betrayal, from both my sister and him. And now she's back, because life hasn't gone the way she thought it would. Let me give you some background. My ex-husband wasn't just any regular guy. He was incredibly wealthy and an expert at lying. But guess what? He couldn't fool me forever. He acted like Mr. Perfect on the outside, but behind closed doors, he was a lying cheater. When I finally got the courage to ask for a divorce, he refused at first. Can you believe that? I wasn't going to back down though. He soon realized I was serious about breaking free from his toxic grip, and that's when he went all out. He tried to make me look like the crazy one, hoping to discredit me and make everyone doubt my side of the story. During the divorce proceedings, he worked hard to prove I was unstable, while he pretended to be as innocent as a newborn puppy. But I wasn't falling for it anymore. He would delete texts, lie about where he had been, and even blame me for his own deceit. He made me question my sanity. It was like living in a twisted psychological thriller. When I confronted him about his cheating, he went into full-on gaslighting mode. One day, tensions were running high, and my ex-husband decided to visit me at my place. I was living with my sister back then. If only I had known how she would betray me. It turned into a heated confrontation, with him blaming me for everything, making me out to be a terrible wife. He said things I would never forget. "You destroyed our marriage with your crazy behavior. It's all your fault. I can't believe I ever married someone like you. You're so unstable and irrational. You've always been the problem. It's like dealing with a ticking time bomb," he said, blaming me for all the drama. "No wonder our kids are better off without you. You're unfit to be their mother. You're delusional if you think anyone will believe your side of the story." I was furious, and he just kept going. "Everyone knows you're the crazy one. I've got the upper hand here. You're just a drama queen, playing the victim." I had enough when he said, "Throw another fit. That's all you're good at. Can't handle your emotions, huh?" He was trying to make me feel like I was losing my mind, gaslighting me with every word. My sister was there, right in the middle of it all, witnessing the confrontation. I hoped she would have my back, maybe testify on my behalf and tell the truth. But no, that's not what happened. Instead, she did a complete 180 and sided with my ex-husband. She had the nerve to claim he was this great guy while painting me as the villain. And when I moved to confront them, I accidentally knocked over a tray of bottles on the table, shattering the glass on the floor. To top it off, my sister told this wild story that I had tried to hurt him by throwing the bottles. My ex played the victim like a pro, continuing his "I deserve custody because she's unstable" routine. It was like he had a script ready, and my sister was reading right from it. I was devastated. I fought so hard to prove my innocence, but it felt like the odds were stacked against me. No matter how much I tried, I couldn't catch a break. It was like being stuck in a loop of injustice. In the end, I lost custody. I had always been there for my kids, and now they were taken from me. It was the worst kind of pain a parent could experience. To make matters worse, I was arrested based on my sister's claim that I had threatened my ex-husband with a glass bottle. The authorities didn't take it lightly, and it landed me in legal trouble. I was charged with assault and reckless endangerment, making everything worse. The court found me guilty, and I was sentenced to 6 months in jail. 6 long months away from my children, away from everything I held dear. It was like a nightmare come to life, and I couldn't believe how my world had fallen apart. When I finally got out of that dark, suffocating place, I was drowning in depression. I felt lost, broken, and utterly defeated. It was hard to see a way out, and I felt like the world was against me. In a desperate attempt to be part of my children's lives, I reached out to my ex-husband, begging him to consider joint custody or at least let me have 1 day a week with them. But he ignored my pleas. It was like he enjoyed having all the power, leaving me with nothing but heartache. My depression worsened, and I felt like I was spiraling into a pit of despair. But thankfully, I had a support system that stood by me. My parents were my rock. They took me to therapy, and their love and support kept me going when I felt like giving up. Meanwhile, my sister seemed to be living her best life, enjoying her newfound wealth. It hurt to see her carefree while I was drowning in pain. I couldn't help but wonder how she came into all that money. Deep down, I knew it was probably tied to her involvement with my ex-husband. Life felt unfair, and I was struggling to find my way. But you know what they say, when you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up. After what felt like forever in the dumps, I started to pick myself up. It wasn't easy, but life is about taking baby steps toward a better future. Slowly, I began to see a glimmer of hope. Then, out of the blue, my sister showed up at my doorstep, apologetic and wanting to make amends. I have to admit, it was hard seeing her there, knowing all the pain she had caused me. Turns out, my ex-husband, the master manipulator, had cut ties with her. I guess she was no longer useful to him. Karma has a funny way of catching up, doesn't it? Now she's in a tough spot, broke with no place to stay, and you can't help but think, what goes around comes around. My parents, though, were firm. No, We're not taking her back. Not after everything she did to me. But that's when I had an idea. Maybe there was a silver lining in all this mess. I decided to give her a chance at redemption, but with a condition. Spill the truth. If she wanted to make things right, she had to come clean for once. No more lies, no more covering for Mr. Cheater. It was time for her to tell the whole truth about what really happened. Update 1. I had this wild idea to make amends with my sister, so I threw it out there. She wasn't too keen on the whole truth-spilling thing at first, but I knew how to get her on board. I told her, listen, I'll talk to our parents and make sure you get your inheritance. You'll be set for life. No more broke days. Guess what? She couldn't resist the offer. We've decided to head to court tomorrow. Fingers crossed for some luck. Update 2. I walked into that courtroom ready to tell the truth and set the record straight. And you know what? It worked like a charm. I won back custody of my children, secured child support, and my ex-husband is going behind bars, plus paying a hefty fine. My sister showed the court all the proof, texts, receipts, everything, where my ex was begging her to lie for him and transferring money left and right. He was exposed for being a terrible father, which made it easy to win. Now here's the twist. My sister was supposed to face consequences for her false testimony, but I decided to be the bigger person and officially forgave her. She got 3 months, but I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. The best part is, I'm reuniting with my kids, and we couldn't be happier.